Hey y'all, welcome to the Maya Skinner podcast. I'm so excited to bring this first episode to you all. I have been working on this for the longest time and just trying to see where it goes. And so we're here. Ignore the wrinkles behind me because this was unplanned. I thought I had my other background, but I cannot find it. So I'm ordering a new one, but we just have to deal with this for now. As you can obviously see, my favorite color is pink, so you will be warped into my pink world. Um, you're probably watching this and you're like, okay, what's the deal? Why am I even here? Well, let me tell you. So I grew up watching a lot of Oprah, a lot of Montel Williams, um, you know, Access Hollywood. What's her name? Sean Robinson, I believe that's her name. I double checked. Yes, that is her correct name. Yeah, I grew up watching her, Access Hollywood, of course, Wendy Williams, the Wendy Williams. Um, that 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 was my childhood, and I have enjoyed the talk show format for a long time, as long as I can remember. And I just feel like using my own skills and mixing it all together and seeing how it pans out. And so that's why you're here. Um, and I'm just doing my own twist. I have a lot of national and local content that I want to get into, share my opinions, share my thoughts, and leave it open to you all to leave a comment, leave your own opinions and thoughts as well. And I also want to have guests. So if you are interested in sharing something, especially here in the Dallas area, just for a little background on me, I am from the Dallas area. I was born in Lancaster, but I pretty much grew up in DeSoto. They're right next to each other. And so, yeah, I'm homegrown Texan, as you can see. Yeah, like I'm a Texas girly, and yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of y'all. And so this is an invitation for political people, artists, entrepreneurs, anything in between. You all are more than welcome to join this podcast. And yeah, let's get into it. Gossip Girl star Michelle Trachtenberg has died at the age of 39. This is so unexpected for me, honestly. Law enforcement tells TMZ, it's the source for this information I'm bringing you all, that her body may have rejected a liver transplant that she received within the last year, causing complications. And a lot of y'all may have grown up with her watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Gossip Girl, and Harriet the Spy, as well as Ice Princess. That's personally my favorite movie of hers. It's crazy. I actually just watched that movie about a month ago on YouTube. A lot of my chick flicks that I love watching, they're all on YouTube right now. So 10 out of 10 would recommend watching her work. And this is just really sad. This article was saying that she had a post recently where people were commenting about how she looked, and she spoke out about it, saying, "Explain to me how I look sick." She also reminded followers, "Did you lose a calendar and not realize I'm not 14, I'm 38? How sad for you to leave such a comment." Excuse me. Why is this important that I'm talking about this? This is important because this brings us back to Chadwick Boseman when people were talking about how he looked sickly and things like that. And all the while this man was dealing with cancer. You know, we have a issue with speaking on people's bodies, how they look without even knowing what they're going through, any health reasons, personal reasons. You don't know what people are going through. And I think it's important that we, look at ourselves and say, is it worth saying so, especially on a platform like social media? Like, why would you say things about how people look? And I get it. We all have freedom of speech, freedom to comment, but this is just another example of we may need to take a step back before we just speak out on things like that. My thoughts and prayers are with Michelle Trachtenberg's family. Moving on into sports, let's talk about that Lakers and Mavericks game from last night. I watched that game and it was pretty good. Lakers won 107 to 99. It was the first time Luka Doncic met up with the Dallas Mavericks since that blockbuster trade that just shook up uh the NBA. You know, I don't think we'll ever forget where we were when we heard about that trade, trading him for Anthony Davis, um, as well as Max Christie. There was a lot with that trade, and I don't think Mavericks fans will really get over it. A lot of the diehards are still, you know, reeling from it, but I think that game kind of gave us a sense of like where Luka's head is at with the Dallas Mavericks, and I think all it does is make you look even more forward to um, the next game when he's actually here in Dallas. My prediction was that he wasn't going to go all out because the game was in Los Angeles, and however, he did show out a little bit. He was struggling with getting some of his shots at first, but he definitely made it a point and in sending a message to Dallas that yeah, like y'all messed up and y'all had me messed up doing how you did me. He scored 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists. Overall, I still thought it was a nice, decent game. Considering the fact that the injury bug has plagued the Dallas Mavericks, Um, they kept up. Kyrie was trying to be aggressive, Klay Thompson trying to get those shots in. We're struggling. We really are struggling, and I say we because I am a Mavericks fan. Um, I am still waiting for that next championship. I remember in 2012 going to the championship parade, and that was such a great vibe, and I feel like we needed it. And we were really close. I mean, we were in the finals last year. However, I don't think this is our year, but I think after seeing Anthony Davis play a couple weeks ago before he re-injured himself, I see good things coming. Like when everybody heals, I think we'll do great. Um, what is the point of me talking about this story? Well, I mean, this is a big deal. I think the trade itself will go down in history books. Um, I think everybody has been just looking forward to that first confrontation. It's very clear that Luka is still very hurt. He was chipping at the bench, making side eyes. There's a lot to unpack there. Um, the source I'm reading from today is from Yahoo Sports, and it says that quote closure is going to take a while. So, this is going to be a very um interesting dynamic. I'm like, is this going to be a new rivalry? Like, what do we do with this? But it's going to be interesting moving forward. Last but not least, I want to talk about Karen Huger, the Real Housewives of Potomac star. She faces 1 year in prison with 1 year suspended after her DUI arrest. TMZ reports that she'll actually serve a year maximum. The state's attorney's office says that she will pay $2,900 in fines. She cannot drive at all for a year after her release. She also received 5 years of supervised probation upon release with interlock once she's allowed to drive again. If there are no violations, it becomes unsupervised after 3 years. That's a lot to unpack. Apparently she has been arrested multiple times. I believe this was her fourth time. You know, I think what's important here is recognizing that this is clearly somebody who is dealing with substance abuse. And, um, when it gets to a point where you're in these situations, it's an eye opener. I think we have to, at the end of the day, still show grace to people because every day we're all dealing with something. Just like I was saying earlier, people are dealing with sicknesses. This is still a type of sickness. People dealing with alcohol, with drugs, with anything, all of that is a sickness. And sometimes you have to go through something to really open your eyes and say, yeah, I need to make a change. I've been watching the reunion special, and I know she mentioned that she had checked herself into rehab, which is a great step into, getting that help. You have to have that support system. And so it's really unfortunate seeing her in this. I am a fan of Karen's, and, I'm sure they are filming right now. I'm sure they're filming their reactions as I speak. And it's going to be very interesting seeing how this next season pans out. Will we see her at all? Like, what's going to happen? Um, so thoughts and prayers to her as well, because that's, th this woman is in her 60s going to prison. It's, I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna end with a quote. It is Black History Month. This is a month where we celebrate the pioneers who have shaped the world, shaped our communities, and helped us get to where we are today. My quote comes from Martin Luther King Jr. And the quote is, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." I hope that we all can learn to love on each other, give each other respect, be there for each other. There's a lot going on right now, and I think we need more positivity. Um, Uplift one another. There's so many things that we can do. And so I really hope that this podcast was really cool and enjoyable for you. This is the first one, so it'll only get better. But make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. I have all that linked below. Make sure to subscribe, check out my other content, and I will see you in the next podcast episode. Bye.